There is something to be said about the connection between an artist and their instrument. Now, don't get me wrong here. Not everyone out there finds or even cares to find the one. But this story, a story about my favorite guitar, that as many others have come and gone, this one has stuck around. That through a strange set of circumstances, that perhaps I never even found this guitar in the first place, but somehow it managed to find me. Proudly bearing the scribbled words, Squier on the headstock, this mid-80s made-in-Japan Fender Telecaster might be overlooked by its American-made counterparts. And you know what? That's totally fine by me. Besides, this guitar is and forever will be the extension of my heart. Many years ago, I chased a girl to Minnesota, lived in her mom's basement, drank a lot of Coca-Cola, and played World of Warcraft. I worked at Circuit City selling audio equipment, and at some point after saving up some cash, I decided it was time to buy an electric guitar. Even though I thought they looked hideous at a younger age, the Telecaster's body style and headstock shape finally grew on me, and without having a clue how they actually sound, I decided that this was the guitar that I needed in my life. So off to Music Go Round I went, and when arriving, I scanned the store to find a couple of Teles on the wall. Grabbing them one by one, I plugged them into a random amplifier, probably something insanely cheesy like a Line 6 Spider or maybe a Crate, and presto! Began fumbling through a couple of chords and single note riffs as I tried to figure out which of these guitars was coming home with me. Not too long into my pretty pathetic jam session, the sales rep made his rounds, and just when I thought he was going to ask the question, which I would quickly dismiss, "Can I help you find something specific?" he surprised me with this comment. "You know what, man? If you want a really nice Telecaster, there is one at our other store across town. If you want, I can give them a call and let them know that you are coming. And trust me, you will know which one it is." As quickly as I possibly could, I was out the door and on the way. Driving 45 minutes to the next Music Go Round, which felt like an eternity, I pulled into the parking lot just as the sun started to set. I remember it like yesterday, with an all-glass store front. The entire wall of guitars was lit up with an amber glow from the rays piercing through the windows. Glancing left and right, looking carefully, I spot a couple of Telecasters, but I'm searching for what I'd hope is something that really stands out. Something that would fit the description of, "You will know which one it is." As I took a few steps forward and realizing I'm not the only one in this store, I noticed an older gentleman with his back to me, preparing to play a guitar that he pulled from the rack, plugged into what I learned later was a legit 65 Deluxe Reverb. I heard something that stopped me dead in my tracks. This gentleman, who was playing Jeff Buckley's version of Hallelujah, somehow dialed in a tone that I was searching for, and I didn't even know it. So as you can imagine, the reverb was great, no doubt about that. But I heard something deeper, as if this instrument in this man's hands was speaking to me in a way that not only captivated me, but carved out a tone that might as well have been my second voice, but a voice I couldn't quite articulate until this exact moment. Trying my best not to look like a freaking weirdo, I circle around the store and finally get to a vantage point where I could see the instrument that this man was holding was a Telecaster. And no, not just any Telecaster, but this was a Blackguard. Classic as it gets, and paying respect to the OGs of all Telecasters. Even from a distance, its maple neck appeared to be well played, and the guitar had what looked to be just the right amount of nicks and dings on it. Obviously, I waited for this guy to finally stop playing this thing, but when his beautiful take on Hallelujah came to an end and the noodling continued, my heart started to sink. Adding to my despair, the clerk checked on him, and with a little eavesdropping, I heard the words, "Yeah, That one sure is a sweetheart. With some back and forth, my greatest fears entered my mind, and I nearly accepted my fate of missing out when something unexpected happened. This man, who didn't seem to even notice me at first, glances in my direction, gets my attention, and says, "Hey kid, you want to take a crack at a good one?" Nervous enough to piss my pants and more excited than a kid at Disneyland, I briskly beeline straight to this guy, and with a pathetic attempt of staying cool, I reply, yeah, sure. Thanks, man, I'll check it out." Lightning bolts ran through my veins. My heart was beating out of my chest. And now, with a small audience watching me, this man and this store clerk, I quickly regain my composure and I play something that probably sounded like this. And with that, it's all it took. I was done for, smitten, and ready to devote the rest of my life to this guitar. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was the one, and proving that I was right, it's still here after all these years, and I'll never let it go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this video and learning a little bit more about this guitar and how it came into my life. If you are interested in hearing a little bit more about how this thing has evolved, what pickups and wiring harness are hidden away under the hood, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. Also, if you are interested in knowing how I got this tone in this video, what pedals that I used, what settings that I used, make sure that you like and subscribe because I'm going to be dropping some videos that will cover all of that in the near future. And one last thing before I go. I paid $300 with a hard shell case for this thing. Deal of the century. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one.